This is a period of perpetual disruption, and disruption is coming from all angles: geopolitical, economic, technology. Retailers are having to work really hard to stay relevant to customers. And I think what we are seeing is that there are winners. In fact, I think we are seeing this growing disparity between the winners and the losers. But those who are doing well and who are thriving despite all this disruption are ones who have clarity in their business model. They know what differentiates them. They're very clear and they're very focused on their strengths. They're not trying to be everything to everyone, because nobody wants to be in the middle. I think also they have the right culture in place. And today you do need a culture of agility, of acceptance of failure, encouraging curiosity and risk-taking. And that needs to start at the boardroom and go all the way through to the shop floor. I think winning retailers are also not only customer-centric, but they're employee-centric. And they understand that they need to continuously evolve. Well, I think what's really interesting is when we talk about value, value doesn't just mean the lowest possible price. And yes, we have seen the emergence of the Chinese disruptors like Temu and Shein, and even TikTok Shop, where you can get very low prices. But I think in some ways, yes, there are always going to be shoppers who are looking for those low prices. There are always going to be shoppers that need those low prices. But I think when we look at value more broadly, I think if you look at the rise of pre-loved, for example, this is a booming area for retail. Everybody's moving into resale. And I think for consumers, they're getting value for money. They're going to grab a bargain, but they're also doing their bit for the planet. They're preventing products from going to landfill. They're not buying new. And they're also getting something that is unique. And I think, retail can be a little bit homogenous. So I think those three factors are what's really driving the pre-loved market. And I think just the redefinition of value, I think, is something that's certainly been interesting to observe. Well, unfortunately, there's a lot of uncertainty in the market, and this is something that we've observed over the past few years, and it's very much continuing into 2026. That said, I think there are a lot of interesting innovations specifically around AI, which in my view is both an opportunity, a huge opportunity for retail, but also a threat. And I think if we look specifically at this year, I'm really excited to see how agentic commerce is going to evolve. I think retailers really need to start thinking about how they sell to bots as well as how they sell to humans. And I also think when it comes to AI is going to drive the next wave of e-commerce, specifically for food and fashion, two categories that have been relatively slow to transition online for all the obvious reasons. But I think AI is really going to make it easier to do our food shopping. It's going to take the chore out of grocery shopping because this is a habitual thing. It's non-discretionary, and I think there's a real opportunity to improve that experience. And in fashion, I think there's a real opportunity with AI to improve discovery, to surface the most relevant results in real time, and also to address the sizing and fit issue. So lots of exciting opportunities. I think there are some risks as well when it comes to leaning on AI too much. I think, there is a question of whether there is an AI bubble. Is it going to pop, or is there a little bit of hype when it comes to AI? I think there are concerns over cognitive complacency. That's something I'm hearing from more and more retailers, that as retail teams lean on AI more heavily, there is a risk that they lose the ability to think critically. So some very exciting opportunities, but also some things that we need to be aware of.